Good afternoon to you all. I thank Dr. Bajaj. I had actually prepared a small presentation. I thought that will set the tone and maybe we can have open-ended panel discussion after that. And thanks to Dr. Bajaj, I can skip a lot of slides now and we can actually move to other topics also. I work in the area of information security. I am from MDI. And we also got this opportunity to closely work with DIT for the last 2 years to develop an information security framework with the National Institute of Standards and Technology US. So I think government security is a national concern, and the more people get onto this, it's better for everybody. So we also happen to be a part of the team, and that's where I'll just share my understanding, and then we can move on to a panel discussion. In fact, I had just put a few basic facts, and these are already covered in terms of, we have the internet everywhere. It's a global threat, and it's leading to loss of productivity, revenue, most of all the customer trust. And the thing is that newer threats are emerging everywhere, so we have to have a dynamic kind of a response. Phishing attacks are happening through shared virtual servers. Botnets are managed and run as an enterprise manages its network. Sites offering free domain name registration used for registering free domains and phishing attacks. And countries which we had not heard of, they are emerging on the cybercrime landscape. Indian BPOs, we are all aware of them. So it's a kind of, it's something, which touches us all. We are all a part of it. We need to be concerned. So Sony Corporation, Microsoft, which happened as recently as, in the beginning of this year. So we all go through these kind of reports almost every day. There are bigger things. The concern is more because cybercrime is becoming more organized day by day. We have Stuxnet, we have Estonia kind of incidents, Georgia, Pentagon, NASA, Indian government websites. So it's an organized kind of a crime. So we need to be more this thing. Then threat to online services. Interestingly, Taobao.com, which is the #1 Chinese e-commerce site, is the second most attacked website. And who is doing it? It is the Chinese hackers. They themselves are doing it. And they are using botnets outside the country to attack their own websites. And it is the most attacked website. So, you never know where the threat component is. Evolving software market to carry out espionage and cyber attacks, and most of all the threat to critical information infrastructure, which is a cause of concern to all of us. There are some paradoxes, and which is very interesting in this space. If you see IT security spend and the cost of security technology, it has been increasing. In fact, one of the Gartner reports in 2009 said that if you see the security spending has been growing twice as fast as IT spending. But there is almost no correlation between security spending and security level. Real progress should see reduction in IT spending. Isn't it? If we are spending more on security, we should be seeing more security. It's just not there. We are seeing more crime, in fact. Crimeware, malware, spam generating capabilities, botnets are getting cheaper. While cybercrime is getting more organized, sophisticated, dynamic and cheaper, the fight against cybercrime is just not keeping pace. There are more laws, but but we are still not having more of security. So that's another paradox. And if we come up with some more laws, it's not that we'll get more secure. Maybe there is something else we need to look at besides, creating more laws. So one thing which actually comes to my mind is organizations must elevate the IT security issue to a corporate governance priority. So that's one of the things I wanted to focus on here. So one of the things which this requires is balancing access and control. If information is present everywhere, everybody has too much of access, you are actually increasing the risk to the organization. But if you are controlling the information too much, it will hamper the productivity of the employees. So you always have to maintain this balance. At the same time, you are also thinking of deploying controls, keeping reasonable ROI, the way Dr. Bajaj was mentioning, ensuring legal and regulatory compliance so that you are in business. Absolute security you cannot have, but you can actually try to match up to the newer threats all the time. Security awareness, education, all these things are important. Then security with third-party service providers, that is very, very important. And awareness of best practices on what is to be done and how it is to be integrated to the organization's operating environment and enterprise architecture. This is the core of the whole thing. So what I want to emphasize here is that we need to be proactive, actually, from reactive to proactive, which means being agile to contain the cybercrime. First of all, security is not an IT issue. At the heart of any system is the data, and the owner of data is the business. Unless everybody understands this, there is a shared understanding, security will not become important. It's not about managing some IT devices and putting some IT solutions. Management has to be truly involved. Security has not permeated through the organization, but then we need to take it up as a management issues. Organizations must elevate the IT security issue to a corporate governance priority. And when I say corporate governance priority, we need to actually allocate some amount of funding to security. The decisions, it's about the 4 Ds. Who will take the decisions related to the security? Is there a department for security? How do you organize the delivery of the security? And how much money have you committed to the security function in your organization? And finally, effective monitoring of the security in terms of, right kind of KPIs. If there is a disconnect between what you are measuring in terms of security, what policies you have, processes you have, and what technology you have, you will not be able to reach the right kind of results, because finally, it all must align together. And so, if you as an organization, or if anybody is planning security, so my strong recommendation here is, first of all, can we actually focus on the enterprise architecture part of it? Which means, can we begin with some kind of a standardization or consolidation of enterprise architecture before we start planning of information security? So, we need to focus more on enterprise architecture. Review of enterprise architecture, standardization, consolidation, optimization of the IT infrastructure, and then start planning of the information security. And then actually align the enterprise architecture with the information security architecture in the organization, and starting from business to IT strategy to information security architecture, and then we start talking of the data applications, networks, communications, and all those things. What does it mean? It means a formal CISO position, it means a formal ISO position, it means roles and responsibilities are defined in the organization, who does what is defined in the organization, and we are approaching some kind of a framework. Interestingly, like what Dr. Bajaj was saying is very correct. We actually aspire to be ISO 27001 compliant. Once we get it, we just hang it on the wall and that's it. Can we have some kind of a phased mechanism in terms of, we are building up maturity. So maturity model is the need of the hour in terms of, we have some management level controls. We have a security policy. We have a CISO position. We have a governance structure. So can we actually emphasize on some base level controls, then move to the next level? And if government can actually participate in the whole effort, can we have some kind of certifications at each stage, so that we slowly build up our security effort? Interestingly, I was at NIST in Jan this year in US, and one of the publications which they shared was NIST SP 839, and they started in 98. The way Dr. Bajaj is saying, they interestingly, they started with some other kind of a paradigm. They have been experimenting with security. They started before us. We are getting more and more conscious now. But now they are also recommending a very strong governance-led approach. So unless you have strong governance mechanism, IT strategy is, information security strategy is very easy to talk of. Or you have the security vendors who are talking of, network security, communication security, and all those things. The missing link between the technology and the strategy is the governance aspect. You need those formal positions to emphasize security across the organization. We did a primary survey in 2010. We actually went to 303 government organizations, and we actually checked out what kind of governance are they having. Do they have some security guidelines? Are they having some CISO, ISO positions? And what we discovered was it's just not there. We have to actually work on it. There is a This first layer has to be established before we start talking of the nuts and bolts. Also, I want to actually emphasize on the collaboration aspect, cross-border, public-private, government-private. For instance, you want to shut down some affected domains, freezing payment accounts that are suspected of fraud, isolating bad networks, building up a knowledge repository. So these kind of things require collaboration. Building up a security culture. So all those things. Case in point is Mekolo. This was one of the biggest spam sites. And researchers, they actually got together. Together they forced the ISPs to shut down Mekolo. And the next day, the amount of spam worldwide, it reduced by up to 75%. So that is the kind of organized action I am talking about. If the cybercrime is getting organized, the action against cybercrime has also got to be organized. We have to come together for it. Another case in point is Avalanche, which was the largest phishing gang worldwide. And in mid-November 2009, members of the security community effected a temporary shutdown of the Avalanche botnet infrastructure. So actually everybody got together, and that is how they forced Avalanche out. So no, doesn't matter how big it is, we need to get more organized, collaborate more to actually meet this threat. The other thing which Mr. Anil Sinha had also emphasized in the morning, I want to actually put it up again, and just through a very simple example. You can't emphasize the importance of people awareness, all these things enough. As far as security is concerned, it's the most important factor. And case in point here is the Great Wall of China. For so many years, nobody could invade it, and just bribing a simple gatekeeper, you could actually enter the Great Wall of China. So people is the weakest link. You really have to focus. You can have the best technology, firewall, IDS, biometrics, and somebody can just call an unsuspecting employee and get everything. So people is the most important thing. Government has a role to play, and I think that will come up for panel discussion again. And I also here want to emphasize on third-party service providers. With so much of outsourcing happening in the government space, there needs to be clear segregation of responsibility, stringent data-related control, NDAs, individual NDAs with the employees who are coming on the government premises, standards and best practices, incident change, problem management, and even back-end subcontracting arrangements need to be looked at. Finally, I would actually leave here. Every day in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed. Every morning, a lion wakes up. It knows that it must outrun the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. So with data being stored in handheld devices, communicated on internet servers, only an agile organization can survive the attack. So this is where, the opening remarks, whether it is I virus or I management, whichever team you are, you have to be agile, you have to match up to the newer threats, you can't be complacent, you can't just sleep, you have to work on it continuously. So with that I'll leave, and with this keep running, pay adequate attention to detail, keep your users and business leaders on your side. So let's see how the panel discussion emerges.
Thank you.